We're going to talk about some winter maintenance. Electrical. Make sure all your ends and your battery cables don't have any nicks or tears in the cable, so the wire is exposed. Make sure all your connections are nice and tight. There's no any loose. Make sure the wires and the weather packs are not loose. Make sure your box is nice and good. Make sure it has no cracks, and your rubbers are good. Your starter solenoid. Make sure these are all nice and tight, not corroded. Make sure all the fitting, all your nuts on the solenoids are tight. And make sure your grounds, even on your battery and this ground, it's nice and clean. I'll take this off and take a wire brush, clean it up, put your connections back on. Your switches, make sure these little screws are nice and tight. Your power bar here, just make sure that's not cracked or anything. Make sure your switches are all nice and good and no cracks there where water could get in. Check your battery cables, from your starter solenoid to your starter, your battery. Make sure your ends are all nice and good. The heat shrink's not tore. Visually check all the cable. Take it apart. Make sure your ends are not cracked. Make sure it's all good. And if you do have a loose end, cut it apart. And then we use this little crimper here. Make sure it's nice. Some people solder. Their ore's good. Make sure your battery, if it's in the car, just throw a trickle charger on it. Make sure it stays nice and charged throughout the winter. Make sure it's on like a piece of wood, just not sitting on the ground. If you have any questions, let me know. Thanks for watching.